Conspiracy at work. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks turn into months and the months turn into more months, I'm just hoping this COVID-19 trial doesn't turn into a year, or worse still, years. As the mandatory mask wearing and social distancing becomes our ever-increasing norm, I just pray for a safe vaccine to come as soon as possible. Call me naive, but I believe this virus is real. Call me gullible, but I trust our scientific community. Call me a male Pollyanna, but I do trust that our government leaders are looking out for our best interests, despite all these restrictions and shape-shifting guidelines. It therefore is a shock to me when some people seem to think it's all a hoax, a government conspiracy of global magnitude to suppress the masses and gain Big Brother control. A dear friend of mine even recently said to me, quote, "Look at Sweden. They're not doing all that we're doing in the US, and they've got completely different results to us. They're just letting their people do what they want. It's all just a conspiracy, Paul. What if the deaths had nothing to do with the virus?" End quote. So I did have a look at Sweden's numbers on a site I've come to trust, google.com/COVID-19-map. And lo and behold, found that Sweden are actually not doing that great. At the time of writing, we have a 3.0% death-to-case ratio. Conversely, Sweden has a 6.7% death-to-case ratio. It seems to me, using junior high math, that I'd be more than twice as likely to die from this pesky pandemic if I lived in the land that gave the world ABBA and IKEA. How on God's green earth can all this be a global conspiracy? I fear the same people who think this is all a conspiracy of political proportions are the same people who believe the moon landing was a hoax. Conspiracy thinking seems to be innate to us as humans, a twisted belief that there's always someone out there, wherever there is, who seems to think that someone, whoever they are, is out to get them. It comes as no surprise then to me to see this same behaviour in the workplace. A phrase from yesteryear was, quote, "the man," end quote. We'd hear people say, quote, "you're working for the man," end quote. Another was, quote, "the man is always watching you," end quote. I mean, who's the man? This type of stinking thinking creates barriers between owner and employee. On the basis that management are really just the hands and feet of ownership, it's of no surprise for this victim mindset to spoil relationships between supervisor and the supervised. Back in the day when we'd actually work in offices, we'd see the cancer of conspiracy theorists play out at the water cooler or around the coffee pot. In hushed voices, they'd talk about the man and about how the organisation was making billions, whereas they hadn't had a pay rise since last year's inflation-adjusted annual performance review. A glance of the eye or a nod of the head would single out fellow workers who were on the side of management, you know, those minions set on the course to do the work of the evil empire. Zoom just didn't take this away, but rather it moved it onto private chats or subtle messages of defiance that we see when cameras are being turned off for one speaker and turned on for another speaker. It's really a person's own version of virtually saying, quote, "talk to the hand," end quote. Conspiracy theories outside or inside of the workplace are not helpful, they're actually very harmful. Yes, I believe it's healthy to question and verify, like I did with the Sweden statistics, but the best thing we can do right now, whether it's as a global citizen or a workplace worker, is to trust our leaders, do our part and work hard. The world will come out from under this dark cloud, but I'm very concerned the conspiracy theorists will continue to carry their own weather with them back into the workplace. I've found the best method of dealing with the chat of conspiracy is to point out what the owners and management are doing well, to express gratitude for the work we get to do, and to get to the bottom of rumours before they spread like wildfire.